FlyQuest, really like that as a super high priority champion for bottom side. So every time we see Rel plus Seraphine, even from blue side here for FlyQuest, as one of the teams that used both those champions the most, like to see possibilities here coming back from Immortals, taking off the solo lane Lucian. They don't want to get split pushed to death. As we just saw previously, don't want to have to deal with Palafox in the mid lane, who has used a lot of these AD threats very effectively. That plus the Yone that we just got a look at yesterday.
Kind of a wild blue side Lilia ban though for FlyQuest. Like, this is a champion I think you can probably first pick, and JoseDeodo looked excellent on it. So Hecarim's going to get banned as a response here for IMT, and all of a sudden this game is very different setup-wise. Udyr's still banned though, so that's not going to be happening here, but I wonder what first pick they're setting up here. I mean, I guess it's Trist, as FlyQuest look to take that one here, but something... This kind of ban signals to me that you have a pretty specific plan in mind if you're going to be banning away one of JoseDeodo's best recent performing champions away on the side where you could have taken it first. Is Olaf actually going to be the pick here?
Yeah, I was gonna say Olaf, because if you have Udyr, Hecarim, and Lilia all banned, Olaf is the next of the 4 kings of the jungle right now. The 4 that still have this incredible clear speed and are able to keep heads above, basically, all of their opponents. And I'd say that's a priority for FlyQuest. We just spent 2 minutes talking up JoseDeodo for FlyQuest and how he's the point man for this team. It does put Xerxe onto Nidalee, and Xerxe has been one of the players for Immortals we've been looking for improvements from. Sometimes his early jungle pathing is not routing towards the lane that is their win condition, and has caused them some problems. Also, some of the mechanical mistakes in duels have got them into trouble. And on Nidalee, you can't really afford to make those types of mistakes. This is a champion that you want to play from ahead. You want to get your power clearing going, but you also, these little ganks where you do a pressure gank, passing by a lane, throwing out spears and heals to just change health levels as you pass by and continue on your quick clear speed, are very important.
Yeah, about as good as Dr. Mundo gank sometimes. Just kind of throw a Q and leaves the lane. Maybe hope you get a little bit of pressure happening here. I do like the call out, though, that the way FlyQuest have navigated this early draft, it does put a lot of pressure on Xerxe as far as what champions are available for him to play. Has really stuck to Hecarim Lilia for a lot of this, so I like that FlyQuest maybe recognize that particular swap here. Trist was the second pick, though, for Immortals, as FlyQuest have already locked in Gragas and Syndra as their next 2.
I like this combo. Really flexible, lots of CC. People keep hovering this Talon. And by the way, this is not just a meme because Perks tweeted out, he was going to play Talon and then didn't play it. Teams have actually been using this in scrims, and it's really strong in solo queue right now. I still don't think we're going to see it, make its way to the stage, but it's one of those hovers that, man, I wish that would go through Pastry, because it changes the whole way the game is played. When you have a mid like that, if you get a lead and you can get them priority, you just go unlock them by pushing one wave for the Talon. Then he gets to make incredible roams. He can also counter jungle really effectively. You get a Talon flipping over the back of your red buff. It's a good night to any jungler, basically, especially if he's got Ignite. Not going to be the case here, though. We'll save that for when he actually gets picked up. It's snooze fest Azir.
I mean, yeah. Definitely a champion that is not all that exciting to watch, at least maybe in lane, but obviously very impactful. So Insanity going to take the Azir, with Palafox actually deciding he'd rather have Syndra here. These are actually 2 mid laners with a ton of history already, despite being early in their LCS careers. They had a long tenure in Academy playing up against each other, so very familiar with how they like to play these matchups, so it should be a fun one to watch, even though it is a less exciting mid lane matchup than, let's say, something that Talent may have added. Thresher and Renekton, though, first phase 2 bans here for either side, as Shen is going to be taken off the board and away from Licorice, given his performance yesterday. I don't blame Immortals.
This Immortals lineup is looking real flimsy, too. They really need some hard CC and some health bars on this team with their last 2 picks. So FlyQuest, I think banning away stuff from Avenge for tanks for topside and tank supports, both of those would be good options. They actually go for the Camille, the split push, more risky version there for Immortals, which honestly I think that Revenge will probably just lock in a frontline tank for Immortals here. They are saving the counter pick for him, so it could be them taking the route of tons of damage, no beefiness, no frontline. But if you have a Jinx and Azir, I actually think that's just crazy to set up a whole team comp and then not have a tank on the front line. Okay, there we go. We get Nautilus. tank from bottom side, engage, point and click CC. That's what you want. Tristana and Azir, very good backline damage already, and Nidalee can transition into very good supportive role for the mid stage of the game, especially you know, if you don't go for the full damage build. She can be very good supplemental to Tristana with the extra, you know, heal and attack speed.
All right, Senna actually going to join TK here because Gragas has already picked up. So with Olaf locked in, Licorice was already planning on playing a tank here. So it makes sense they have to finish off their bottom lane. Tahm Kench still very powerful. I think we've seen mixed results in more recent games, but we all know the power of Senna when she gets all the souls. And of course, having your Tahm Kench act as a full farmer in the bottom lane, if you want to go that route, is always nice. And it does seem like FlyQuest's read on Revenge's champion pool is correct, because that's not a tank, Kobe, that's an Aatrox.
Yeah, it is, let's say, lifesteal tank.
Nope.
You can give him, no, okay, fine. But he is a frontliner, though. And
yes.
we've seen multiple, you know, I guess my mind goes straight to, you know, guys like Finn, who have had these really big, and Fake God, actually Fake God more recently, who have had these really good engages, flanks with the Aatrox, acting like a main tank, because, you know, heading in there with just the mini knockups from your Qs, especially if you use your Q1 early and you can get your AoE, second Q, third Qs out in these team fights, and flanking with one of those chains onto a high priority target, that can be, you know, the front line. That along with Nautilus is the engage that you're looking for. I just think it's so difficult if the Tahm Kench is played well to actually make those types of move onto Senna Tahm Kench lanes. So I think it's a really good last two picks here from FlyQuest, getting that safety for Johnsun and Diamond. People have definitely been looking at the bottom lane and specifically Diamond for, you know, cleaning up some of these plays, though. So there will be hyper focus there for FlyQuest heading into this one. Must-win game for FlyQuest, or else they are mathematically out of the race for playoffs for MSI contention.
Yep, they know that just one game at a time, and this one's pretty important, as Diamond gives the thumbs up, and the rest of FlyQuest are galloping towards the bottom brush here in bot lane. See if Destiny is indeed going to get caught. Ooh, no one's spotting him just yet here, but will they get spotted again? Diamond already roaming up to this brush, but Raes will spot him early. So good scouting work there by Trist, and Raes probably hasn't put a point in anything yet, so just going to emote as they're going to run into the enemy jungle here, because Raes and Destiny will be forced out. FlyQuest swooping through as well, so checking for any wards, but nothing really happening here, other than just a bit of early info for FlyQuest. They're already going to start channeling some recalls and getting out of there.
Does catch at least one ward here for the sweep. Let's see, that's only golden experience here for Diamond and Johnsun bottom lanes. It doesn't really matter as much for the bottom lanes. Solo lanes you can get level 2 on first wave and sometimes changes your trade.
Ooh!
Diamond!
Onto Diamond. Very nice here for IMT. There's a jump in from Raes. Diamond looking to go down here, but he does get healed up by Johnsun. Is going to be okay, but has to burn 2 summoners to stay alive. And Kobe, bad news, the minion wave is already here.
Oh my god, that spear too. He barely is able to just shift his weight to the side and dodge through it. Spear goes through too. They don't get a kill for Immortals, but yeah, Pastry, it is tough news for the bottom lane. Tahm Kench is not going to be a chunky boy this time around. No health. No regeneration left to him, no flash left to him, no heal for the bottom side. Xerxe better be looking towards bottom side to attack that lane. Senna Tahm Kench, usually one of the safest, but against a Tristana Nautilus, that is engage overload for bottom side. And I think it's definitely a good thing that we were looking at Raes and Destiny at the beginning intro here for this game, as they've definitely got a lot of cards to work with for pressuring bottom side, trying to punish that level 1 from FlyQuest.
Palafox playing really aggressively here in this lane, just trying to trade up against the Azir, but even with Phase Rush proccing, can't really dodge the incoming damage, so mid lane is looking pretty even so far. Someone's going to land though, Palafox in. Oh, level 3 for Insanity though, so immediately runs back in, and Palafox going to lose that trade.
Little North American mid laner ego contest in mid here. Palafox versus Insanity. honestly, there should definitely be some early jungle action with how aggressively and volatile a lot of these lanes are playing. Mid and bottom, both looking pretty good. And since Olaf full clear, Jose started topside. He will end down here.
Good grab again. IMT going aggressive.
Dodged.
Diamond looking low. No flash, no hope. First blood over to Raes. Is going to be second blood as well. Finally, the Hobbit will be happy. It is second blood for Raes.
Raes and Destiny, the Oceanic bottom lane right here, comes over and smashes Diamond. Johnsun goes down in the aftermath, just crying as the Tahm Kench gets Goomba stomped. What a start for Immortals. Off the level 1 first, invade punish, they actually don't even wait to call down their jungler. They make this play, assuming that Olaf is doing the full clear. This is so blind. They have no ward in that tribe rush. It has been a full 3 minutes, but Olaf can definitely finish very quickly. But the timing window on that was very close for Immortals. They just went for it. They get rewarded. If Jose had skipped a camp or gone down there a little early for countering, it could have been bad. But really heads-up play from the Immortals bottom lane, earning themselves the advantage. Double kills them this early on in a Tristana lane. That's going to mean terrible things for this FlyQuest lane. They could easily be losing, multiple turret plates in their lane as well.
And as we pan down here, I'm just expecting them to die again, right? Like Raes and Destiny just looking so clean in that 2v2. Even through an exhaust, Raes had more than enough damage there to finish off all those kills. I do have a quick update though, Kobe, because I am here in the lead. Oh, actually, I'll hold it for a second because Revenge and Licorice are doing battle, but that dissipates. So I'll have to hold my breath again because Destiny once again going for their hook. Xerxe here this time. Q's going to just barely miss from the Nidalee, but Raes is going to jump out to safety, and there's no one else coming anyway for IMT with the attempt, but FlyQuest deflect them this time.
I just love the aggression out of Raes and Destiny, and I remember back even to week 1 of 2021 LCS split here, where they're the ones who pick the Blitzcrank lane into the Senna Tahm Kench of Team Liquid, and they surprise everybody and shock everybody. This Immortal squad getting a that early win versus the Team Liquid lock-in champions coming into Spring Split was huge and was based off a lot of very aggressive play from the bot duo. So they stay true to that name this time around. Tristana and Nautilus also hook champion, looking for all-ins, but mid lane here, and Senna and Palafox just continue to wail on each other, giving no ground. There is a ward on Xerxe and a dragon here for Olaf.
All right. Actually, it worked out kind of nicely there for Palafox here. It's like with RNG going to get this dragon, unless Xerxe has something to say about it. No, he doesn't, but incoming perhaps their TP in. Whoa! We're getting wild here in the river as Diamond's going to have to get out of there. Revenge is here nice and early, but the W is going to miss. And the play will dissipate. Licorice, though, did also counter TP. But everyone's just going to walk away slowly after that one.
Just a prank, bro. Right back to top side. The top wave, I can kind of tell from the mini-map, pushing away from Revenge. But Revenge is going to get there first, so he should be able to handle that.
All right, well, what I was going to mention, I really feel like I can't get... All right, you know what? I'm going to skip it because Raes and Destiny playing so aggressive with no left nearby, so things could erupt at any moment. So we'll move on as IMT are up 600 gold. But down on Ocean Dragon, not too bad for the early game. Here it is again, going to be eyes on this Tristana. If Raes can continue to snowball this game. Also curious to see what item key goes. Seen a lot more Gale Force these days, but of course Shield Bow and Kraken Slayer also good. I guess it will be Kraken Slayer based on recent games because it just pumps up the deep so much when you hit that critical 3 item mark as Licorice eats the chain slow. And gonna walk away, knows that he has to be the defensive player here in this matchup. Let's let Revenge hit the minions and then casually last hit them under tower as plates are going over the Immortals direction here. Bottom lane finally cracking one.
Yep, early instances of combat here, determining what the mid game is going to look like. I think it's pretty good for FlyQuest that they were actually able to sneak that dragon and get everybody out. Kind of insane given the control that 2-kill Tristana bottom side does have there, but really good movement from Jose. They take the timing window, jump on the dragon, burn it down with bottom lane moving up, and Xerxe wrapping around mid. He went over that ward, so Palafox saw him around mid lane, and good punish here from FlyQuest, because even with you have scenarios that are not expected in the game come up like that, how terrible it went, level 1 invade, costing summoner spells, costing health for the bottom lane and then being followed up with a punish, they're still able to play the game state, jump on that little timing window, and take away one of the biggest objectives that Immortals probably were about to transition over.
Well, the next biggest one is indeed this Rift Herald that JoseDeodo is currently getting some vision around, but going to take the Raptors instead as the mid laners return with their newly gifted blue buffs. Palafox is going to get things pushing and move over in case JoseDeodo needs help, but Raes needs no help on the IMT side. Actually, letting Destiny leave the lane a pretty decent amount here and still managing to push in the center TK, because again, just the kind of situation where with the Noon Quiver and the Berserker's Greaves can't really do too much. In fact, Licorice even joining the invade party as JoseDeodo face tanks the Q to finish off the red buff, but doesn't have Smite, but does have Licorice. Oh, Licorice! Just barely missing the body slam follow-up, and that is dedication to the red buff. But now Revenge onto Licorice, who doesn't have a flash to remember, as Insanity is also going to collapse on Licorice. A touch too far, does get himself picked off as JoseDeodo leaves the scene of the crime with the enemy red.
Punishment there for missing that body slam flash for Licorice. He has no mobility left now, no defenses, so Jose says, yep, you're going to have to live with that one, my friend. I'll just finish up the red buff and peace out. The origin of that play is good for FlyQuest. Jose is looking at his solo lanes. All right, Palafox is smashing mid lane. He's pressuring Insanity every single wave, trading hard with him. Despite double Verdant pickups for both mid laners, it is Palafox who had been initiating these trades, finishing up the CS, pushing the lane in. Same thing on top side for Licorice. He had actually pushed up the wave into a good spot. So the idea and the invade itself and the call from Jose there, good in order to go fight Xerxe on that red buff and take it. But execution and maybe communication as far as, hey, I'm going all in to try and get actually the kill on Nidalee instead of just taking red buff. Definitely off there for FlyQuest. So it ends up looking a lot worse than it probably should have, given the map state that they started out with.
Also, as a result of all that, Rift Herald does go over to IMT, despite the fact that it did seem like FlyQuest were looking for it. So another display of banditry there for Immortals as they do get the other big objective. Raes also has to fend off JoseDeodo, but is just fine for now, continuing to grab plates on his own like a crate and barrel.
I like, nice. I like how we've had to come up with a very diverse list of synonyms for heist and steal and poach.
When you have a team called 100 Thieves in your league, Kobe, you got to get creative.
And when you have a league where so many of them have been stolen, and there have been so many of these plays like that, definitely got to keep on your toes. Dragon about to spawn though, Pastry, and the Scuttle Crab currently in control here for Immortals. So feeling good about that one. No teleports for either top laner. So just trying to get their pre-rotation damage trades off. Cooldowns will be up for both of their ultimates, but of course Licorice still is going to be without his flash from the early blunder.
Yeah, 2,000 gold ahead though for IMT as they move towards this dragon fight. I imagine a lot of that gold is currently like in their possession, i.e. they bought items with it, but perhaps not, as Licorice and Revenge have been spending a lot of time beating each other up, so it's FlyQuest once again. They're going to move in to try and take this dragon. Should be able to get it, but at what cost is Destiny? Zooming in onto Diamond, but who's caught who? About to get devoured. Ragnarok through the Azir walls. Diamond's flashing in for the tongue lash stun. Naps it, but JoseDeodo devoured just in time as Raes does not have a reset to try and play with, so it's FlyQuest that grabbed the dragon and the kill.
Jose just keeps muscling up. Jose shows up. All right, we got the push sides. I'm starting this objective. Full confidence from him. They burn it down. They make the turn here again for FlyQuest. But the early plays still lending that gold over to Immortals. They hold on to the lead. Palafox.
No, not dead. Verdant Barrier is a pretty good item, but Insanity is supposed to flash there.
Yep, all that extra magic resistance, for both sides reduces the kill threat. That's why they both like to purchase. Definitely very efficient with AP as well. But anyways, back to Jose. Muscles down the dragon as Xerxe still walking over, and then walks straight through the Azir wall. Diamond even flashing over for the tongue lash to ensure that they finish up that kill as well. And now Revenge is in the graveyard with no flash.
And Licorice has an ulti.
That was during the replay, yes?
It was.
All right, well.
Next, we'll have another replay shortly.
Nice solo kill there from Licorice with a flash disadvantage then. Don't count any extra assists on the board either.
I was going to say the tower got involved, but the wave is really far up for that to be the case. But I guess we'll find out shortly.
Because the aftermath,
all right, here we go.
Maybe it was a tower dive attempt.
Yeah.
No, it's just he's just at the tower pushing the wave in, and Jose was here. Okay, not the solo. You know, Licorice is able to do most of the damage himself, but Jose walking up with the extra threat there with the Olaf. Regardless, good play there from Licorice, setting that up with Flash's disadvantage there. Revenge, burning that Flash and still going down, letting him get the push right back out.
Yeah, really nice stuff for Licorice, just setting it up with the ulti. Rift Herald drop down on the bottom side of Xerxe. Has finished off the Night Harvester. They're going to be more damage focused here on Nidalee today. But Raes finally kind of getting the reward he's been working on this whole time since he got the double kill. He's going to go ahead and pick up all the plates, all the first tower gold, and perhaps a death here as FlyQuest are setting up a little bit of a trap here in the brush, but Raes respects the possibility and is just going to back away from that particular trap.
Yeah, I think especially with the call that you don't see Palafox mid anymore, you can call the hover here. You know, Insanity's like, all right, there's an easy rotation from mid. He can quickly move on this. Just back off. No reason to overextend. They also don't have sight on any of the other members of FlyQuest, so no reason to push it too far there. Just take your rewards and walk right back out. Licorice again on top side. Now, with that early flash blown on the last kill, Revenge has to run away with his ultimate here because Licorice can easily follow. Gragas, whenever you have flash advantage like this, you just have so much playmaking you can bring to your team. And they're even rotating Johnsun over. I kind of love this for Senna players. Just walking behind your jungler for these camps because they always spawn souls. And you can pick up the guaranteed souls. Full value there while you see on the minimap, Diamond, the farm Tahm Kench, farming away on bottom side all by himself. Does have his Abyssal Voyage ready, although it's rank 1 and quite short range. All right,
well, I was glad we actually saw that, but Insanity does dip away from the potential gank because I was about to see something potentially very hilarious. Because Goldrigger got nerfed a while ago, Kobe. And so players have been looking, you know, how do we replace this item? The active's not as good. Olaf maybe feels like, you know, I miss my Goldrigger because it was such a great item on me when it was overtuned. So instead I just bought the other Goldrigger, of course, without getting nerfed. Stridebreaker has kind of come into its own as the item in that class with a similar active. And Stridebreaker Olaf here is a kind of a fun one to see. JoseDeodo can get some extra mileage out of the ganks. As you can see, Xerxe, they're going to get away.
Yeah, it does have, like, it has very similar stats on it. And I kind of like this choice when especially you have more champions with healing on your team. If you're looking down in your own team and you say they're going to get a lot of value out of Grievous Wounds already with Olaf self-healing, Gragas self-healing, and then Senna healing everybody as well. You know, Grievous Wounds is a high probability the opponent is going to rush, so your Gourd Drinker then also has reduced value. And Stridebreaker, given the extra movement that you can get with the active, is actually really, really good utility. And the item itself just has high gold value with the base stats on it. So definitely have been a fan ever since those Gourd Drinker nerfs a while ago that you're mentioning. Regardless, Dragon about to pop up here. Infernal Dragon on the Rift. This is number 3 possible soul point for FlyQuest. And again, they've got Diamond, the Tahm Kench, all the way across the map. Guess what? Tahm Kench Abyssal Voyage got Omega nerfed for level 1 range. It barely gets from that position he's at now down to like Baron Pit. So while you could be like, oh yeah, he's got like a semi-global, it's not even close at level 1. Definitely need to get your level 11 rank 2 before you can actually make map plays like that. So if you just see that, then you know that FlyQuest giving up the Dragon, not going to continue stacking for the super early soul point.
Yeah, did grab the Herald at least, so I guess Immortals just recognizing the map state and trading on the bottom, making sure they do pick up that Drake. We'll see what JoseDeodo wants to drop this Herald though. Mid always valuable, but like we're still on the hunt for their first tower of the game actually. So wanting to try and take kind of whatever they can, get that gold for themselves, open up that space. Insanity currently the one on split push duty here in the top lane. And Palafox being very respectful. Missing his mythic early on, but to make sure he gets that Banshee's Veil. So there was no incoming poke, I suppose. Not a whole lot of ways for you to get engaged on apart from a straight Nautilus hook. So Banshee's Veil, even though it can get poked off somewhat easily here, pretty effective against the main ways you're going to get CC'd at the start of a fight.
Yeah, and you know, decent value versus Spear to the face too, if you happen to not dodge one there. Vulnerable champion, you know, Syndra to getting poked out, so he actually does full complete it. Licorice should be able to get away from this one. Yeah, just fine. But you're right. You know, oftentimes we see people just sit on the Verdant Barrier because it is so stat efficient and gold efficient for your MR.
Speaking of the Verdant Barrier, they're going to go to work here again. Insanity looking for the scoop. Senna ulti up the top.
One more.
And Palafox, I think he's got it with the assist from downtown. Flash E gets it. Palafox takes down Insanity.
Senna ultimate game changer there as well, and the slimmest of margins. Palafox flashes to finish the kill. Jose heads up top to try and burn down that tower, but mid.
Not again, Diamond. He's seen it all before. Xerxe gonna grab the kill. Raes straight in there onto Johnsun. Just does so much damage, and now that root is maybe gonna get the trade kill, but Raes is gonna live because Xerxe popped a quick heal. But I love the aggression out of Raes. This though, oh my goodness. Tribreaker Olaf incoming, but can't make his way around the corner or through the wall. So Raes is gonna get out safely.
Oh, that's the funniest thing. Just seeing a glowing red Olaf. Stop killing my teammates! Running down through the whole team, trying to get the counter kill onto Raes. Oh my goodness. Raes also, you know, whenever you see those early buster shots, you know, go out and you don't get the execution damage. Nice heal from Johnsun at the last second there to kind of bait it out, making the difference so he doesn't actually die. That means no rocket jump reset. He also landed the snare, so possibility of getting counter if you know, they didn't have their heal of their own. Like this, the initial move there from Palafox, though, you see his positioning around the soldiers early to get that early health lead, but then flashing back in with the advantage there after the pushback on his Azir wall. Able to finish that one out pretty confidently. And as you said, Pastry hooked him right in again. The catfish on the hook again. Raes immediately tried to flash into, you know, pick up number 2, but you know how that one turned out.
Yeah, followed up the Nautilus ult there that Destiny had already fired away onto the center because Tahm Kench was very dead, as we saw. Also, as we revisit down the bottom side of the map, I have to think Licorice is kind of getting over it. Revenge is like constantly pushing the side lane. He's getting beaten up by Aatrox. Curious, I mean, Gragas is going to survive. I don't think Licorice is in much danger of actually dying in a 1v1, but IMT are likely going to use the pressure that Revenge currently does have to make things happen in other parts of the map. Although right now I'm more concerned with getting this mid lane priority and taking down this tower. It is, of course, a valuable point of the map in general, but with Dragon up in a minute 10 and FlyQuest still one away from Soul Point, both teams just wanting to fight for central control because they do need to take this Drake here.
Yeah, that side lane matchup does mean a lot. You know, Revenge getting the first move because he gets to push the wave every 30 seconds, new wave spawn. And Aatrox getting to move first and finding a flank can be the big difference. Licorice is for sure built for the you know, for the team fight. He is ready to just turbo chem tank right into the middle, make his body slam flash ult play, and has a Thornmail for himself as well, so he can now proactively apply the 60% Grievous wounds by hitting that CC, you know, on Aatrox, on Tristana as well. Reducing any self-healing, any healing from the Nidalee as well. So kind of like the early rush here from him, as it allows the carry members not to have to drop extra cash that you know, for that utility.
Holy! Oh, he's the one initiating. Oh my goodness! This takes down the center, forces out the Ragnarok, and IMT, a very creative way to find a 5v4.
WTF, mate? Where'd that Senna go? I want to see that slow-mo replay. Was it a spear landing at the same time too?
That
was crazy burst. That was 36 from Raes. Rocket jump right back out. He has been playing this game so confidently. It's the Immortals bottom lane that has earned them this seat. 2K gold lead for themselves, 2 Infernal Dragons, putting a stop to a lot of FlyQuest and Jose's efforts from the early game.
Oh, also, I realized we had to talk about this before, but the game has been so fun and action-packed that we didn't get to it, so I'll squeeze it in while we can. We did mention that FlyQuest's chances here do hinge on this win, but we were slightly incorrect. I'll talk about it after this replay, though, Cole, because I want to see how this happened. Solo.
Yeah, that's straight up solo here from Raes. Holy moly. Explosive shot, pops it himself with the buster, execution 100% to 0. I mean, it is a squishy Senna, and has no escapes there for Johnsun. He didn't have the heal at the time, no flash, so I love the play from Raes.
Senna ulti again. Palafox used the ulti, but it's not quite enough. The Q's going to miss, though, and now Palafox going to have to figure out what to do. Revenge, though, popping in with a stride breaker flash forward after the E is Revenge. Still chasing him, but Xerxe here as well. The spear's not going to connect as Palafox is still trying to kite away, but Diamond can't make it in time to save his friend as Raes killed Olaf at the same time, picking up almost another solo with the assistance of two friends. So Diamond now going to get himself Nautilus ulted. And the rest of IMT are going to charge in, but no follow-up kills are there. However, Baron pressure is here, and IMT are going to start the objective. Oh, goodness, the hook's already landed. Never mind. Aboard the Baron. Licorice, he's going to get devoured by Diamond, but now going to pop back out and be popped by Xerxe. Insanity going to swoop one back in as they'll take 4 kills and go straight back to Baron.
That is a textbook example of the sunk cost fallacy, PastryTime. From your economics 101, Immortals had 5 people alive. They just made the pickoff. FlyQuest, you've got no business chasing that. You've got no business contesting there. What sort of counterplay is left? You have to just cut your losses. It stings. It hurts. I know to give up, the objective at that point, but without the, with the 2 pickoffs there, with Palafox going down, with Jose going down, you don't really get a say about it anymore. And now they just further their losses with Licorice also going down.
All right, well, like I said, to double back slightly on something we brought up earlier, FlyQuest is actually not mathematically eliminated with a loss here. They could technically end a 3-way tie at 8 wins with EG and Immortals, but a win here for either team very obviously improves your chances of qualifying for the mid-season showdown. So IMT are looking for that win here in the hunt. So is FlyQuest again. Makes your life a lot easier the more games you win. Shocking, I know. But IMT certainly in the driver's seat here for this one with the Red Bull Baron buff, looking to charge down mid, take out a few more structures for themselves.
All right, this one has been exciting, Pastry. I'd say just keep your eyes always on Raes as he is able to buffer that rocket jump there. Good job saving himself. Another pick, though.
Licorice, not picked off just yet. Xerxe spears, though, chunking the Gragas because that Void Stuff second is massive. The damage is huge. The Q's going to miss. But Xerxe making his presence known against the tank, in air quotes, of Licorice. Not a whole lot of MR, though, on that Gragas, and Xerxe is going to show just how much damage Nidalee can do right now. As Johnsun, oh my goodness. That almost looked like an old Nidalee spear. I was ready for Johnsun's life to just completely explode.
Yeah, that's the old Nidalee. No, none of this moon staff, flowing water, healing going on. Those are hard-hitting spears.
Oh, Destiny with the wraparound flank here. The ulti through. It's more than good enough. Raes is unstoppable. And now he's jumping in for more. Going to take out one extra. Xerxe has already taken out Diamond. Make it 3. Going to be maybe 4 and 5 here for the rest of IMT. They find the hook. The spear is true and takes down the 4th as the 5th will be found. And IMT are going to snag the Bud Light House, Bud Light Ace, and quite possibly the win as well.
Oh my goodness, yeah, they snagged that and more. Bottom lane minion wave is already there, and with the Baron buff PastryTime, they can walk those minions right to the Nexus.
Well, they lost Raes, but I don't think they need him to finish off the job here. The Baron power is still there for 40 seconds. They've got Azir and friends here to knock down these towers, and Diamond gonna pop the happy bee, but it's gonna be a sad bee in short order as IMT are gonna take the win up against FlyQuest, but not before they've collected their sushi, as Diamond somehow is gonna live.
Holy moly. Raes. He had the Vayne yesterday, Tristana today, Destiny setting them up with the hook. They get the 2v2 kills in lane. They continue to look for these plays, and he just, every time he saw Johnsun just looking over to hop right on the Senna's head, gets the kills, rocket jump resetting afterwards. You see everybody taking turns on Immortals, going to give him a massage. How your shoulders feeling after all that work he put in carrying? Well done, well-deserved win for Immortals.
I also appreciate that he's died near the end of the game, despite popping off both on Vayne and on Tristana. Like, just has to get in one death to keep the KDA looking a little more even. But yeah, this bottom lane is continuing to impress, and I think when we talk about these kind of players who have experience together in Oceania, who have looked good on an international stage, like for a lot of these OCE players, the expectations are different for, say, something like Palafox, is a player coming up from Academy, hasn't really had a shot on a big stage just yet. And I think Raes and Destiny are finally showing why, of all the options you could have picked, you're going to go with Raes and Destiny. Lesser known names from a region that maybe isn't as trusted, but is starting to prove that at least in the AD carry department, Kobe, maybe we should keep looking there for your scouting info.
Looking pretty fun, too. I love it. Any of these champions where you're jumping in, playing aggressively with them, you'll love to see those looks. That's where you really get the big spotlight on your head. And well-deserved here for them. So Immortals still in it. You know, technically, FlyQuest can now try and aim for that small chance at the tie and hope that everything goes their way.
Yep. Again, sadly, there is no playoffs lock in or lock out. FlyQuest still in it, but it is going to be a rough road in any case. We're headed to a break, though, but on the other side of Riv is going to be talking to Destiny in the Verizon post-game